What's going on, guys? It's Nolan's Playbook. I am back today with another podcast of Nolan's Playbook. It's been a while. This is my first video back, first podcast back under the new year. I have not done a podcast since November. Early November, ending of October, Halloween, somewhere around there. So it's crazy. Nothing bad happened. I'm back. Everything is good. It just life happened. That's all. Life happened. That's all. And God has blessed us in more ways than what we can imagine. So everything is good. Life is good. Just took some time away. And I'm back. And we gonna do what we know that we do best, and that's make this podcast video and give you some sports. The last time, well, actually, I made a promise to you guys that I would start covering baseball. A lot of people think that baseball is boring. I don't think so. A lot of people do. Y'all have your opinions. I have mine. But I did make a promise to y'all last year to deliver y'all baseball content this year. So without further ado, that's what I'm going to give y'all. And y'all already know that I am an Atlanta fan. So with that being said, y'all already know what I'm going to talk about as it pertains to baseball. With the Braves, we open against the Kansas City Royals this weekend on Friday. We're actually at home this year. Major League Baseball actually gave us a favorable schedule this year, and we're actually opening up at home where we should be and not on a crazy West Coast road trip. So, my number one hot topic that I'm going to give you guys today is introducing the team. Not a lot needs to be introduced. The ball club is still the same as it has been for a couple of years now. We had some signings that we made. Of course, every team makes. So let's get right into it. Bullpen, Aaron Bummer. We know about Aaron Bummer. Daisabel Hernandez. Raisel Iglesias is back closing. We signed Tyler Kinley back. We got Dylan Lee back. Jose Suarez we have Joel Pompanos. And then we have a signing, and a huge signing that we made this offseason in former Padres closer Robert Suarez. That was a huge signing. He's going to be the setup guy in the 8th inning. He's going to set up Raisel Iglesias. So when it gets to the 9th, Robert Suarez sets up Raisel Iglesias. When you have a 1-2 punch like Suarez and Iglesias, it's lights out. It's going to be tough for teams to try to score in the 8th and 9th inning. The pitching staff, starting pitching, Chris Sale, Reynaldo Lopez, Spencer Strider, Bryce Elder, Grant Holmes, A.J. Smith-Shawver, Hurston Waldrop, Spencer Swellenbach. Our catchers this year is Drake Baldwin, Sean Murphy, Jonah Heim. Our infield remains the same. Ozzie, Matt Olson, Austin Riley, Hassan Kim when he gets back from injury. Our outfield is Ronald Acuna Jr., of course, Michael Harris II, and our new signing in Mike Yastrzemski coming from San Francisco. So that's my first hot topic, introducing the team. My second hot topic that we're going to get into is the injuries. I just gave you guys the pitchers. One thing that I didn't give you guys are some of these pitchers are hurt. Let's go to the bullpen. Joey Wentz is going to be out for the year with a torn ACL. He tore his ACL trying to cover the first base bag in spring training, so that was a huge loss. As starting pitching injuries go, Reynaldo Lopez, he's not hurt, but he is coming off of an injured campaign season last year. So he is not hurt, but he is coming off a mostly injured campaign last year. Yesterday he made a start, and he's looked good in spring training, but yesterday he made a start, and his velocity was down. He was throwing 89 miles per hour. That's not what we know what Ronaldo Lopez to be. So that alone is concerning, but it's not something that we should be worried about. Concerning, yes. Worried, no. When you've been hurt most of last year, it takes time to get your velocity back. Ronaldo Lopez, he can give you 95 to 99 mile per hour if he needs to. We don't need him to do that. He has it in the tank, but we don't need him to actually do that. And that's the thing that trips me out about what you guys say about Spencer Strider. Spencer Strider can gas you up. He can throw 100. He doesn't need to do that. And for about, 2-3 years now, we've been saying once Spencer Strider learns how to actually pitch and throw the ball, he doesn't need to go in his back pocket and get out 100 or get out 99. He can go 94, 95 and still be effective. So with Ronaldo Lopez, he has that in the tank. He has 100 in the tank. We don't need him to do that. That's how we preserve these arm injuries that we're seeing a lot around Major League Baseball. Guys are trying to throw 100, and they don't need to do that. If you at 95, 96, 97, you good. You don't need to. You need to have a finesse game. You don't always have to gas batters up, because these batters are strong enough and powerful enough that they can hit. They can hit this velocity. So, the unfortunate thing about the injuries is, as of this morning, we find out this morning that Spencer Strider has a strained oblique and that he's going to start the year on the injured list. Spencer Strider was going to start the third game of the weekend series between the Braves and Kansas City. He was going to start that third game, which will be this Sunday. We won't get him because he's hurt now. So the injuries, they continue. H.A. Smith-Schaumburg, he's coming back later on this year, hopefully, from injury from last year. When we got to spring training this year, we found out that Hurston Waldrop and Spencer Schwellenbach is hurt. They get hurt. They on the 60-day injured list. Schwellenbach's injury was bone spurts. He had surgery last month to get that situated with. Hurston Waldrop, we found out in spring training, he has loose bodies in his right pitching elbow. He has the surgery to get that situated with. The bad news, those two guys are hurt. The good news, however, they on the 60-day injured list. At some point this season, both Spencer Schwellenbach and Hurston Waldrop are going to be coming back. So that's the good news. The good news on Spencer Strider, yes, he has a strained oblique. And that's the bad news, and that takes time. But at some point, Spencer Strider is going to be coming back. So these guys are going to be coming back. If it's a positive anything, these guys are going to be coming back. As far as our batters go, Sean Murphy is recovering from right hip surgery that he had this offseason. So he's not going to be ready to start the season. We add in Jonah Heim, former catcher for the Texas Rangers, to take Sean Murphy's place until Sean Murphy gets back. Now, I think that once Sean Murphy gets back, maybe Jonah Heim gets released or he gets outrighted to AAA. We'll see. As far as our infield goes, Han-Sang Kim is not going to start the season. He's recovering from a hand injury that he sustained this offseason. Taking his place will be Mauricio Dubon. That was a key free agent signings. Mauricio Dubon, former Houston Astro. Mauricio Dubon, he can play anywhere we need him to. And we need him to play left field, center field, right field, third base, shortstop, second base, first base. He is that utility guy. He also has a utility gold glove. So that was a huge signing for Mauricio Dubon. But as of this week, Mauricio Dubon will be taking Ha-Seong Kim's place, and he will be the starting shortstop until Ha-Seong Kim gets back. Once Ha-Seong Kim gets back, then Mauricio Dubon falls into that utility role that we're going to need him to have. This is no injury, but Jerickson Profar, we know he's out the rest of the year. 162 games with the PED suspension. This is his second suspension. Not an injury, but you might as well treat it like one. He's probably played his last game as a Brave because this is his second time he pulled this last year. This year, he pulls it before the season even gets started. So, yeah, he is not in the picture. He's probably going to be released, I'm pretty sure. So that's unfortunate. That's my second hot topic. My third hot topic is the signings that we made this year. We made some pretty good signs this year. I mentioned Jonah Heim. We're going to need him until Sean Murphy gets back. Hassan Kim, we re-signed him last year. Hassan Kim was really good down the stretch when it didn't matter no more, when we weren't in playoff contention. But he showed that he could be our starting shortstop in the short term at least. Mauricio Dubon, we traded him for Nick Allen. Nick Allen didn't work out last year. He was very, very great defensively. Nick Allen can play shortstop like nobody's business. He just couldn't hit the side of a barn. That's all that was. So making a trade for a utility gold glove and championship winner in Mauricio Dubon was huge for this team. Kyle Farmer and Dom Smith was the two free agent signings that, they were minor league free agent signings that we made. Those two guys made the team. So Dom Smith is probably going to get DH. He's probably going to be DHing against righties. Kyle Farmer is a lefty specialist, so Kyle Farmer hits right-handed and he hits a lefty pitching well. He will probably DH when it's a lefty on the mound. We signed Jorge Mateo. He's probably going to start the season at AAA, maybe. Rosters are not finalized, so it's hit or miss. Maybe he starts at AAA, maybe he makes the team. He comes from Baltimore. If we need a pitch runner, Jorge Mateo is that guy that you want on the base pass running because he can create havoc. One underrated signing that's going to end up being huge for this ball club, and it's especially huge now that we don't have Jerickson Profar, we signed Mike Yastrzemski. Mike Yastrzemski had a very, very, very phenomenal spring training, and we needed it from him. We needed it because he's going to be our starting left fielder, and we need him more than what we thought we did. It was a blessing in disguise that we were able to sign Mike Yastrzemski because with the whole Profar thing, so we're going to need him, and that was a huge signing. We also signed Robert Suarez. As I mentioned to you guys, he can close, but he's going to set up the 8th inning for Raisel Iglesias. That's a very, very good problem to have when you have two closers on the team. It's a good problem to have. You can't go wrong with that. And then you have the guys like Austin Riley, as I mentioned, Acuna, Ozzie, Michael Harris, Deshaun Murphy's, the Drake Baldwin. So we have guys on this team that have been on this team for a while. One thing that I would say that Walt Weiss said is with the injuries over the last 2 years, so starting from 24 to 25 to even this year as this season gets underway, we've had injuries. Walt Weiss has gone on record to say on an interview he doesn't want to see guys playing 162 games, at least 150 games. That's what he's going to shoot for with these guys. With the injuries spiking up over the last 2 years, Walt Weiss is having a different approach with these guys than what Brian Snitker did. He wants 150. Snit wanted 162. Walt Weiss is cutting back. He wants at least 150 from these guys. So that means giving Ronald Acuna Jr. a DH day here and there. Getting Money Mike off his feet a day here and there. Getting Drake Baldwin in DH and not catching every single day. Same with Sean Murphy when he comes back. He's going to need some DH days to get his feet wet, to get him back in there. Matt Olson is going to get some DH days. He doesn't have to play first base every day. Ozzie might get DH days. You might get Riley off his feet for some DH days. So a lot of the fan base wanted Marcell Ozuna to come back. The problem with having Marcel come back is Marcel can't play the outfield anymore. Marcel was strictly DH. That's why we didn't sign Marcel back. So being that we don't have Marcel back, that creates opportunities and that gives Walt Wise something to work with DHing different guys every day or each game. We didn't have that like the last 3 or 4 years with having Marcel. If we wanted somebody else to DH, Marcel had to be out of the lineup. And Marcel was extremely crucial to not having the lineup because of what he can do. This year, we don't have that problem. We're going to have guys DHing. So if some guys are slumping, they can DH. If some guys are, just need a day off, they can DH. So we have options. I really do feel good about this ball club because I think that these guys are ready to go to bat and ready to go to war for Walt Weiss. I think Walt Weiss is going to be a really good manager, and I'm not really happy that the fan base piled on when the Braves made the decision to hire Walt Weiss, because if you take away what Walt Weiss did in Colorado with the Rockies, it's Colorado. Colorado hasn't been good in ages. So I'm not going to hold what Walt Weiss's track record is with Colorado. Look at Bud Black. Bud Black managed them for like 7 seasons, and they didn't get to the playoffs, at least only one time, I think, in Bud Black's tenure there, in like 7 or 8 seasons, and he got fired last year. No manager is good with Colorado. So to try and hold that against Walt Weiss, come on now, y'all. Really? But I just think that this team is going to be really good under Walt Weiss. And, every team deals with injuries. So we're not the only ball club that's gone through these injuries. We went through it the last 2 years. Every team goes through injuries. What I think was different about the 2026 Braves, yes, we have injuries. Schwellenbach, Sprider, and Waldrop. Those are 3 key pieces that was going to be in our rotation. They're coming back. At some point, they're coming back. Obviously, Strider's going to come back before those other 2 get back, but they are coming back. So, and Ha-Seong Kim is coming back in either May or June. So the key guys that we have, they're going to be coming back. And as long as we can just play good baseball until those guys get back, we're going to be okay. We still have enough right now. We still have enough to get the job done right now. We're just holding the fort down. One thing about this Braves team, and Alex Anthopoulos has always done a good job when he's been here, is giving this team depth. Much needed depth. We've always had depth. We have depth in the bullpen. We have depth as far as our infield goes. We have depth as far as our outfield goes. Starting pitching, we have the depth. You got guys in AAA that we're going to need. They're going to come up and they're going to make that mark. So we have a lot of depth that we can hold the fort down until our key guys get back. Like the difference between the 2016 and the 25 and 2014, when we had those injuries in 24 and 25, we couldn't overcome that. This year, we can overcome that. So I'm very, very, very excited about having a fresh voice in the clubhouse. I feel like Snit's voice probably got dull, and we have a new voice in Walt Weiss. And the other thing, and the last thing that I would say to close this out is Walt Weiss has been here for 5 years now, but he's always been the bench coach, so he knows what these guys are going to do. He knows what to expect from these guys. Walt Weiss has been here for a while, so we already know as a ball club what we're going to get from Walt Weiss. Walt Weiss knows what he's going to get from these players. It's not like the Braves made an outside decision and went with some manager that didn't know this ball club. No, Walt Weiss has been here as the bench coach for at least 5 years now. So he knows what he's doing. He knows what's going on. The team chemistry is already there. We don't have to establish that. The only team chemistry that we need is with the new guys that's coming in. Braves culture. They learning Braves culture. That's the only team chemistry that we got going on right now. Getting the new guys situated with. All the rest of it, we already had that team chemistry. Walt Wise already knows these guys. These guys know Walt Wise. It was an in-house decision, and I think it was a good move to hire him. With that being said, Wednesday, what I have for you guys is I'm gonna give you the division and who I think the division winners will be this year in Major League Baseball. But with that being said, I'm very, very happy to be back. Thank y'all for being patient with me, and thank y'all for welcoming me back. It's gonna be a lot of baseball this year. We got March Madness going on. The NBA is winding down. We getting towards April, so you know it's almost playoff time. So man, we gonna be getting back into that too. So don't worry about it. But with that being said, I'm out of here.